Hi, I'm Gary Waterman, head coach of St. Francis Xavier University X-Men football program. Today I'm going to talk to you about program building. When you think about program building, I think one of the key elements to do is start with a strategic plan. And when you're creating a strategic plan, it doesn't matter really if you're new to a program, or maybe you've been with the program for several years and it just hasn't things haven't gone the way you've hoped, or you want to change or shift. So I think it's a great time to either start a strategic plan or maybe to revisit a strategic plan. And so when you think about doing that, I think the first thing is it's okay to sort of look at the past. I think this sometimes you don't want to live in the past, but it's definitely important that you look at the past and you look at maybe were there some things that you were doing that were successful you want to move forward with, some things that you liked but maybe weren't quite where you wanted to, so you want to tweak, or maybe there's something there you want to just sort of get rid of. Whether you've been with the program and you're trying to shift the culture, or whether you're walking into a new program, I think it's all the same. It's you want to create a strategic plan, and you start by looking at the past. I think then you want to look at the present. Where are you at now? What resources do you have? What's been happening in your program? You can do things like, interview players, have surveys. You want to get a sort of understanding of where the program's at now. More importantly, not just where you think it's at, where do other people think it's at? Talk to your coaching staff. I think that's another critical element. And then finally, as you're creating a strategy, when you've gathered that data, now you want to look at the future. So you want to start preparing and planning for, okay, where am I going to take this program to? What's the direction? And I think when you start thinking about that, I think there are three key components to the starting of your strategic plan. Number one, vision. I think vision is your anchor point. I mean, that's kind of where you start. You've got to get a vivid mental image of what you envision your program to become, you want to become. What are your goals or aspirations for your program? It's going to give you a clear focus, right? So outline your vision. I know in the programs I've been with over the years, I've done some different things. I know recently I always talk about trying to create a championship experience. I'm not talking winning or losing. I think if you do the right things, hopefully that takes care of itself. But I think I'm talking about creating a championship experience, one that your players feel proud to be a part of, B, motivated, enthused to be a part of. So you're trying to create that championship experience. And the other thing I like to talk about is helping athletes reach their full potential, as a student and as an athlete, especially when you're in a school environment. I think those are critical elements. And what can we do to help you reach your full potential? And if we're doing those things, creating a championship experience and helping you reach your full potential, I think we're on our way into our vision of our program. And whatever you really want to focus in your direction, it's all good. It's just picking on what you see your image of where you want your program to become. The second key component is values. These are your fundamental beliefs. And I say once you've got that value, it's decisions become much easier because they're your guiding principles. This is how you're going to choose to live your life by as a players within the program, or coaching staff within your program. These are your guidelines, guiding principles, and so a lot of over the years. I mean, there's been different value sets that people have set, and in our locker room we have a tagline. We call it "Keep It Real." And we use the four letters of the keep it real, be respectful, respect people, property, and processes. A lot of people talk about wanting to get respect. Well, one of the key, easiest things to get respect is just be respectful. And so we talk a lot about that and the importance of respect in and around campus and wherever you're at in your organization. The E of that keep it real is be engaged. When you sit down and you start a program, or you start as a student athlete at a school, or I tell every student athlete, it's going to go by fast. You're going to blink and your 4 years are going to be over, or your whatever years you're in that program are going to be gone like that. So get all in. Wake up each day with enthusiasm, energy, purpose, and a passion. Attack the day with excitement. Meet, be a great teammate. Meet great friends. Build those relationships, because it's going to heighten your experience and it's going to lead to better success. So get engaged in what you're doing. The A of the keep it real is be accountable. I often talk about when you're part of a program, it's not just about you anymore. It's about the whole. It's about us, and so you've got to give up a little bit of your own individual identity, and you got to become part of the team, and you got to be accountable to each other. And every action you do defines the team, and you got to understand that. So good or bad. So let's have more good than bad. Let's be positive, and let's do some positive things in the community and around campus. And then the L of that keep it real is be a great leader. Leaders. So we want you to be a great leader. So leadership is huge around our school and our program. We do a lot of things in a deliberate way to foster leadership. Maybe one day I'll share some of the things we try to do, but really that leadership component is huge. Academically and athletically, be a leader in and around your program. I think that's the key thing. Okay. So that just happens to be our value sets in our locker room. As I mentioned, we keep it real, and basically you can set your own value set. And usually when you talk about that, it's three or four bullet points that you want to use as your value set. And the final key starting point, I think, in your strategic plan is standards. You definitely want to create guidelines and expectations for behavior, and more importantly, or behavior and performance. I think, in addition to behavior, I think setting your guidelines and expectation. I think everyone thrives much better when they know what the rules are or the guidelines are. They just want to know. Can I do this, or where does this? And once they know that, you're going to have a functioning environment that can be at a highest level if you raise those expectations. And I've never met a young person that, or many young people, that if the expectations or standards are set in such a way that they're not going to aspire to achieve it if they're really all into what they're trying to accomplish as a football athlete. So the higher you set them, the more you're probably going to get out of them trying to achieve it. So don't be afraid to set those things, not just for behavior in and around your program, and as they travel through campus or in the classroom, but also set them for your performance. Hey, there's a standard for how things are done, and we expect it to be done a certain way, and that's okay. I mean, they're going to live up to what you expect as long as you hold them accountable and you demand that level every single time and you don't waver from it. And eventually, what happens is the players within that organization or program, they set the standard themselves. They want that to be high because they want success. That's why they're doing. That's why they're putting all this time in. So again, I'm always excited to share a few thoughts with you. Talking about program building and creating a strategic plan. And again, all of these are just some thoughts I've used in the past, but you're going to find your way, what's important to you. But hopefully there's something within what I've talked about that resonates with you and you can take it with you. All right, have a great day.